Hey, Ian and Hamza, welcome again.
Hello.
Hey, talking about wayfinding, we talked about drones, we talked about so many things in the past. I want to touch on a particular subject because I get asked this question way too many times, specifically when it's an outdoor scenario, outdoor venue, a precinct where Google doesn't have a map and Apple Map doesn't work because of all these restrictions, or they don't just on a navigation internally. So specifically, we've solved this problem for a couple of clients, and Ian, love your thought process and the technology we use and how did we solve this problem. Yeah, I'm particularly interested about wayfinding, walking directions, navigation directions. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few things that we've done in this space. Google and Apple Maps for your iOS and Android apps, they do walking directions, but the walking directions are not particularly precise. They'll go from an address to another address or from where you are to an address, but they'll route you down the middle of the road and they kind of know where an address is. They don't know where the front door is. They don't know where all of the entrances are. So what we do is we do high resolution mapping on location. We go out to the site with GPS enabled devices and we work out where the places that people want to end up are, and we map the entrance door. So at Homeworld, where we have a whole bunch of houses, we map the front door of each house so that when you say, I want to go and visit a particular display house, it can walk you all the way to the front door of that display house. And in that one, we also mapped all of the footpaths and all of the pedestrian crossings so that our pedestrian wayfinding can make sure that you walk down the footpath instead of down the middle of the road, and that you cross the street. If you're following the thing, it will cross you at the street at the sensible places to cross you. Very family friendly, safety oriented like that. The other sorts of things we can do is for places where an address is a huge thing, like a sporting stadium, we can put all of the individual exits in so we know where all of the 16 exits around entrances around the edges of the stadium are, and we can route you to the one nearest to your seat if we've got that information about where the seats are inside the venue.
Oh, okay, that's fantastic, because look at this classic example, like a lot of people using digital as a medium these days, right? You go in, you get an email, or you look up the media somewhere, you go online, book a ticket, your ticket is sent to you by email, you download a copy, either you get an app maybe with a QR code on it, or you scan a barcode at entry, but that's where it stops, right? A lot of people actually have to go in, and I find these people with Ask Me t-shirts, right? And you still need a lot of those people ushering people into their seats, telling them where the toilets are, for example, right? So this is something that we could do for large precincts as well, correct?
So the standard GPS-based stuff works anywhere where you can get GPS location. So most semi-covered or uncovered outdoor stadiums, we can navigate you right to your seat. Again, we would need to do high-resolution mapping of the inside and some knowledge about which seats are where inside the stadium. Other places that are roofed over, concert venues, we will need to work with indoor location technologies, most often Bluetooth beacons, to get indoor location working, and we can do that as well.
Okay, we'll talk about beacons. I'm going to get you on that another time. And
Okay.
we did beacons, which was very exciting. I want to talk about the vending machine example maybe in a later episode. Hey, Hamza, so switching over to you, Hamza, being an iOS expert for so many years now with us, I remember there was something very, very smart, I thought, from an app user point of view about location. The app shows me driving sometimes, the app shows me walking sometimes. How
Yeah.
can you just walk me through that?
So Ian was already talking about Homeworld. This is where we've used this technology where it's kind of like a hybrid. We've made use of Google and Apple directions.
Yeah.
You put a geofence, and then when you get asked for directions, make use of the driving directions. If you are like maybe kilometers away, like 20, 30, 15, 20 kilometers away from the precinct, then you give them the driving directions, take advantage of Apple and Google because obviously they're the best in the navigation.
Yeah.
Then once you enter the precinct where the navigation that the Google and the Apple might not be exactly what you need, like Ian mentioned, you need it on footpath, family friendly, not walking on the road, then you switch to the technology what we have introduced, where add the high resolution mapping and then route them, switch to this technology. So it's a hybrid what we have achieved in this, which works very well. You don't have to go to Google Map for some directions and go switch to your app for another kind of direction. So it's
Yeah.
it's a nice blend of both.
Fantastic, yeah. And Hamza, I'm going to talk about AR view on map that you showed me the other day, which was spectacular. The quite the new thing that we're trying out. Yeah, that's
Yes.
pretty spectacular. So we'll come back to that. So Ian, beacons for you and AR in mapping sense another time. But
Yep.
Hamza, I remember in one of the implementations that we did, there's you tap for a particular direction. Say I've created an itinerary of 1, 2, 3, 4 venues. I want to actually go within the place.
Yep.
And then between 2 points, there was what are the metrics that we were able to show or display? We had distance, we had time, walking, steps. I think there was quite a few things we could show, right? Oh, Ian or
Yeah,
Hamza.
out of the box, we can get number of steps, the distance, how long does it take? If it's a longer distance, if it's a driving, you can even get the traffic information. If it's within the precinct, the steps and the distance are the main things you can get out of the data that you collect.
Fantastic. Rightio. Well, this is great. I look forward to doing a sporting venue. I think, Ian, as you mentioned, I think it'll be awesome. I haven't come across anything like this so far. Maybe there are people working on it, but I think that'll be spectacular to do. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. That was really cool. Thanks very much. See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.